Little People, Big World, star Amy Roloff and Chris Marek officially divorced. And finally, Chris Marek arrest. I will explain everything. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We're talking about Amy Roloff and Chris Marek, their whirlwind romance, the cracks that turned into chasms, the finality of their divorce just weeks ago, and the bombshell that dropped like a sledgehammer, Chris Marek's arrest. We've spent months piecing this together, talking to sources close to both parties, reviewing court documents you haven't seen, and uncovering the painful truth behind the Instagram smiles. This is exclusive. Go back to 2017. After decades of marriage and the heavy public attention following her divorce from Matt, Amy Roloff was adjusting to life as a newly single woman. Chris Marek comes in. Not a little person, not a reality star, but a prosperous real estate broker from Washington State who seemed grounded. Chris, who was introduced by mutual friends, stood for stability, normalcy, and Amy's opportunity to leave the shadow of Roloff Farm. He was loved by his fans. He was the kind, encouraging companion Amy had been waiting for. He hugged her family, seemed at ease on the sidelines of the LPBW cameras, and exuded sincere love. They all exhaled in relief when they got engaged in 2019. Amy had finally found her happily ever after. It appeared flawless. The August 2021 Riverside wedding was a romantic affair that was broadcast on television. Amy's rock will be Chris, he promised. Amy smiled and said that this chapter was meant to be. However, rumors started to circulate behind the carefully manicured Instagram pictures and the TLC adjustments. According to sources, it wasn't an easy adjustment from dating bliss to wedded life, particularly when viewed through the lens of LPBW. A quiet man thrown into a highly public life was Chris Marek. According to people close to the pair, Chris became more and more uneasy with LPBW's incessant filming requirements. Every argument on reality TV is a potential piece of film, so the pressure cooker began to wear thin. Chris undoubtedly adored Amy. However, he detested the circus. The sense that his life wasn't his own was something he detested. Suddenly, he was Amy Roloff's spouse, after having quietly developed a prosperous profession. It was chafed. He began avoiding the camera whenever he could, which infuriated the producers, and to be honest, Amy occasionally. Then the property disputes arose. Amy's condo in Portland served as her principal dwelling. Chris kept up his residence in Washington. According to insiders, this physical divide became symbolic even if it was initially portrayed as functional. With her family, grandchildren, and the Roloff Farm's business heritage, Amy had a strong connection to Oregon. Chris had strong commercial and personal links to the North. Conflict arose from compromise. There was always the "where do we live?" debate. Amy had no plans to leave Oregon. Chris had no desire to move completely. Time felt shattered when they attempted to split it. As Amy concentrated on her memoir and other endeavors, she desired a genuine companion to share her everyday life in Portland. Chris appeared to be cut off from that world. Although they were subtle, the signs were there if you looked. Chris stopped showing up on Amy's social media accounts. Public appearances together became less frequent. Amy's postings became much more focused on her work, solo trips, children, and grandchildren. The story of the ideal couple was coming apart. The shocking, official announcement that confirmed Amy and Chris had split up months earlier was made in May 2023. The fans were taken aback. Without the warmth that marked their early friendship, the news was sent through Amy's website. A tough decision and a plea for privacy were mentioned. After a particularly rough holiday season full of discussions about future plans and Chris's mounting disdain towards the public element of their lives, our sources indicate that the couple separated in late 2022. Although the public saw the breakup as friendly, Amy apparently suffered greatly from it. Amy was devastated. She genuinely thought that this was her forever. The speed at which things went south after the wedding caught her off guard. Many people cried and asked many questions. In private, it was terrible. but in public, she put on a strong front. Chris appeared determined, perhaps even somewhat relieved, to avoid the limelight. The Oregon-filed divorce proceedings were extremely secret. No tumultuous public disputes over property were reported in TMZ. According to our legal sources, both parties sought a speedy, uncontested dissolution and hired knowledgeable attorneys. Amy retained her business interests and her condo in Portland. Chris kept his assets and houses in Washington. The clear division indicated that both parties wanted to end the relationship swiftly and amicably. A very prominent marriage came to a quiet legal end when the final decree was signed in late June 2024. A lot of supporters thought Amy would recover swiftly. She prioritized her book promotion, her boutique, and her family. Chris was virtually forgotten by the public. It felt like the peaceful, melancholy end to their tale. However, the actual shockwave was about to occur. Then the silence broke on the morning of July 15, 2024. Official documents later verified the news that Christopher Merrick had been arrested in Clark County, which had first come from law enforcement sources. Early in the morning of July 14, Washington, the fees. Not a moving infraction, not a small quarrel. Assault. Domestic abuse. Malicious mischief. The words are terrifying. Based on the extensively redacted police report that our team was able to get, just after 1:30 a.m., deputies received a 911 call from a location that was listed as Chris Marrick's primary address. A female acquaintance who was visiting Merrick reported a physical altercation, the caller said. According to the preliminary assessment, there was a serious escalation in the argument. According to the woman, Merrick grew violent, pushing her and knocking her against furniture, which led to minor bruises. After that, he allegedly started smashing furniture and throwing things around the house. Despite being clearly shaken, the sufferer refused to be taken to the hospital right away. Merrick was reported to be aggressive and quite drunk at the scene. The victim was upset, and the house was in chaos when the deputies arrived. Despite his initial alleged lack of cooperation, Merrick was apprehended without any further problems. He was processed, put into the Clark County Jail, and that mugshot, the dishevelment, the haunted eyes, was taken. Later that day, pending his initial court appearance, he was released on bond. Let us state clearly that these are accusations. Until found guilty in a court of law, Chris Merrick is entitled to due process and the presumption of innocence. Nonetheless, the charges are really serious and upsetting, especially the section about domestic abuse. It wasn't a fight at the pub. Someone he knew was apparently involved in this incident, which took place in his house. There was an instantaneous and powerful impact. Social media was inundated with shock, rage, and unwavering support for Amy from fans. Stand with Amy became a trending hashtag. There was a lot of speculation. Did Amy have a darker side? Was she fortunate to be absent? How was she handling things? Amy Roloff has remained steadfastly quiet. No remarks in public. No enigmatic quotes on Instagram. All comments were denied by her representatives. This quiet says a lot. According to people close to Amy, the news horrified and deeply shaken her. The accusations presented an image that was glaringly different from the man she married, even though they had been divorced for weeks. Remaining anguish and betrayal are said to coexist with a deep sense of relief that she was no longer in that relationship. First and foremost, she is heartbroken for the victim. Anger is present too. Indignation at the decisions he made, indignation that this occurred. There is, however, a great deal of melancholy. It was sad that the man she loved was reportedly capable of doing this. It seems like the last, unsightly shattering of the fairy story she had faith in. At the moment, she is relying largely on her kids and her closest friends. She doesn't want to get involved in the mess. The world of Chris Merrick has fallen apart. The website for his real estate brokerage is unavailable. His reputation in the workplace is in ruins. There have been no responses to attempts to contact him or his attorney. Regardless of the verdict, he faces serious legal risk, including the possibility of jail time, fines, required treatment, and the lifelong stigma associated with a domestic violence arrest. He has an upcoming court date. Additionally, the Roloff family has cut ties. When asked, Matt Roloff gave a curt no comment. Audrey, Jeremy, Tori, and Zach are all quiet and devoted to helping their mother. The production staff of LPBW is faced with a conundrum. If at all, how would they handle this seismic event in the next season? Although Amy's future path will be crucial, Merrick's arrest will always remain a shadow. In retrospect, were there hints? It is brutally obvious in hindsight. Deeper dissatisfaction may have been the cause of Chris' increasing retreat from the LPBW limelight, which was misconstrued as shyness. Although useful, the separate residences encouraged alienation. However, nothing suggested this degree of purported instability. The arrest compels a harsh reassessment. Was Chris Marek's laid-back charm a skillfully crafted facade? Did something darker come out of the strains of his new life? Or was this a terrible aberration brought on by alcohol? The fans' and Amy's trust is irreparably damaged, even though the legal system may offer answers. The man who is portrayed as Amy's rock is accused of being something dreadfully distinct. This tale serves as a sobering reminder that we can never be sure of what goes on behind closed doors. While reality TV promotes stories, reality is frequently more chaotic, sinister, and tragic. Amy Roloff's fortitude is being put to the ultimate test. A happy second chapter was promised at the start of Amy Roloff and Chris Marek's story. It concludes with a mugshot and divorce papers. The stark contrast serves as a harsh reminder of how easily life may fall apart. Amy must take a different route, healing, while Chris Marek deals with the court system and the fallout from his own decisions. Her strength has always been what makes her unique. She has raised 4 kids, had a business, handled a highly public divorce, found love again, and now enduring this severe shock and betrayal. She has her work, her faith, her family, and the steadfast support of millions of fans who view her as a lady of extraordinary bravery, in addition to being a reality star. Peace is what Amy Roloff deserves. She should be protected. She is worthy of a safe, respectful, and sincere love. That is the opposite of what Chris Marek is accused of. We must respect the privacy and path of the true victim, the woman who was reportedly attacked that night, as this judicial matter progresses. Amy sees this as a chance to close a toxic door and concentrate on the future, her children, her lovely grandchildren, her passions, and her own hard-earned freedom. This goes beyond news about celebrities. Domestic abuse, the masks people put on, and the extraordinary fortitude of the human spirit are all topics covered in this tale. Let Amy's silence speak volumes. Let her strength be an inspiration. And let this be a stark reminder. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out. This has been an in-depth look at a truly heartbreaking situation. More update. Amy Roloff and Chris Marek. Dream home, travel adventures, and shocking secrets. Fans of Lil People, Big World are buzzing with curiosity as Amy Roloff and Chris Marek unveil glimpses of their stunning dream home. But the surprises don't stop there. This beloved couple recently left the country, sparking speculation about what's really going on behind the scenes. Are Amy and Chris faking their perfect life for the cameras? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? In a heartfelt moment, Amy reveals a shocking secret close to her heart, leaving fans eager for answers and wondering what the future holds for this reality TV duo. I will explain everything. After selling her mansion on Roloff Farms, Amy Roloff decreased her living quarters. While she and Chris Marek did live in a quite humble home, they do have their sights set on a dream house. She said that she and her husband were actively seeking a new residence in July of last year. Viewers of Little People, Big World know that Chris has lofty aspirations and that their present dwelling falls well short of his ideal home. In addition, viewers of TLC watched them touring a possible retirement community on Tuesday. In 2021, After Matt's ex-wife, Chris, they moved into her $600,000 house. Matt eventually renovated the house and turned it into a rental, much to the disapproval of his ex-wife. Additionally, he and his fiancée, Karen Chandler, have since constructed their ideal home. Was that enough to make Amy's husband start looking for a fancier place to call home? In a recent episode of LPBW, fans accused Amy Roloff of fabricating drama involving Chris Marek, Matt Roloff, and Karen Chandler. If they're doing it for the TLC show, they might as well keep doing it if they want to own the house of their dreams. Purchasing and keeping the house they desire could still put a strain on their combined net worth. The bike-riding TLC celebrity was shown perusing a property that he adores on Little People, Big World. Just the kitchen would be perfect for his wife, and the 6-car garage could fit an entire row of motorcycles. Combining a residence with event space was the aim, he explained. There would definitely be plenty of space for all the grandkids to spend Christmas here. Despite her admiration for the 10,000-square-foot house, Amy Roloff expressed reluctance to spend the necessary funds to purchase it. The house is nice to look at, but I'm concerned that it's a bit too expensive for our budget, she added. This enormous kitchen may be used to carry on Amy's little kitchen if Chris Marek gets his way and the mother of 4 from Little People, Big World falls in love with it. He thinks it's wise to take his time while declining an offer. He maintained, "I believe the first step is to see if we like it, and if we do, work out how we pay for it." As for Matt and Karen's ideal home, he did bring it up. Since it may take a large group to fill the enormous room, Amy may worry that they may tremble about inside. The picturesque vistas are still lovely. Additionally, her previous experience living in a large house is a factor. As a result, she will most likely adjust to her new house in no time. Do you recall the quantity of belongings she stashed in the previous farmhouse residence? Her admirers said she hoarded things. According to a Reddit user who claimed to have located the house based on Chris Marek's description, they were fans of Little People, Big World. This is not a cheap house, even if they were correct. A&C viewed a home that was listed for $1.4 million, according to their feedback. While Realtor.com has numerous photos of the home, Zillow just had one. It was really easy to figure out, but I won't reveal the specific address here. Chris Marek, star of LPBW, is really interested in a certain house. What do you think about it? In your opinion, is Amy Roloff justified in being wary of a property of this size? This house is supposed to be their retirement residence, but she has stated that she would not work until she is 85 years old in order to cover its costs. Amy Roloff and Chris Marek leave the country. Why? Famous people from Little People Big World, Chris Marek, and Amy Roloff are evading trouble in a major way. Their legions of admirers are wondering why they're jetting off to a foreign land. So far, what is our understanding of this new development? The new season of Little People Big World has premiered on TLC. Since Zach and Tori Roloff declared that this season would be their last, the show's 25th season has been extra scrutinized. In terms of cancellation rumors, this revelation from Zach and Tori really set things off. A bittersweet sensation permeates the air as long-standing viewers grapple with the reality that this season may mark the end of the show's airing after an incredibly lengthy run. Amy Roloff, star of Little People, Big World, will not soon have to cut costs, even if the show is canceled due to Zach and Tori's departure. Amy is reportedly worth $6 million. Chris Marek's estimated net worth is more than Amy's. As if that weren't luxurious enough, an estimated $10 million is in Chris Marek's nest egg. It's season 25 of Little People. Big World is indeed the series finale. Then Amy Roloff and Chris Marek will have had their happily ever afters. Being on their own would be financially beneficial for them. On the other hand, they have an estimated total net worth of $16 million. So they could retire to a life of luxury if they wanted to. A big update from Amy Roloff's Little People Big World. caught her many fans by surprise not long ago. Amy claims that she and Chris are leaving the nation and taking a plane to some faraway foreign destination. With their most recent overseas excursion, these two have proven once again that they can travel lavishly without worrying about their money accounts. Chris Marek and Amy Roloff are taking a much-needed vacation to Ireland. While waiting to board their flight, Chris conducted some work on his laptop. So it's evident that even though he and Amy are flying off to the Emerald Isle, Chris still has business on the brain. It seems like Amy Roloff and Chris Marek have plenty of downtime before their journey to Ireland begins, what with their 8-hour stopover in Atlanta, Georgia, according to Roloff. It would be interesting to follow Amy's comments after they get at their destination, as she joked about the trouble she could get into. Are Amy Roloff and Chris Marek faking it for the cameras? Famous people from Little People, Big World, Chris Marek and Amy Roloff have been a married couple for a while now. Do you think the two are acting for the benefit of the TLC cameras? It seems like some viewers feel that way. Fans of Little People, Big World, and TLC in general know that the network often embellishes various parts of the shooting process to support a certain storyline. For some, the sequences between Amy Roloff and Chris Marek, especially the confessionals, feel a bit too edited. A watcher of Little People, Big World even went so far as to say that their confessionals were like couples therapy sessions, when everyone acts perfectly and pretends like nothing is wrong. This show isn't as real as the network would have viewers think, and some viewers think it's unrealistic. Chris Marek appears to be a real person in the Little People, Big World scenarios. It would appear that he provides the necessary care for Amy Roloff. On top of that, he has an unusual friendship with Matt Roloff, who was her ex-husband. To top it all off, Chris went above and beyond to get Jackson Roloff a tricycle. Still, even after considering all of that, some Little People, Big World supporters think Chris Marek's motives are incorrect. Chris Marek and Amy Roloff appear to be a contented married couple based on all the content published on social media and the TLC show. Some viewers, though, remain skeptical. Chris Marek and Amy Roloff's relationship has lasted for quite a while. They go to other places, and Amy woos her partner with her culinary prowess. But there are many who don't believe them and even accuse the pair of acting for the sake of the cameras. They seem determined to reiterate that all is well, and they fit so perfectly together, but it vibes as the exact opposite. One observer remarked of their confessionals in Little People, Big World sequences. She also arrived with a lot of money and property. Another LPBW fan remarked, "Chris is really unsettling." "I enjoy Chris," remarked a third viewer. "The relationship between them appears tense, but I don't see anything inherently wrong with him." It will be intriguing to observe how Amy and Chris' connection evolves after. They are no longer pressured to conform to a specific storyline that TLC might or might not be attempting to promote, in the event that Little People, Big World is ultimately canceled. Amy Roloff reveals shocking secret close to her heart. Celebrity mom Amy Roloff celebrated Mother's Day this year, but her little ones weren't all in attendance. Zach and Tori's Washington home makes it difficult to be present for every family gathering. Jeremy and Zach's birthdays used to coincide with Mother's Day, but that didn't happen this year. But another person's birthday was also celebrated. Jeremy and Zach Roloff celebrated their birthdays on Mother's Day 4 years ago. Mothers and grandmothers were wished a joyous birthday by the LPBW granny, who also took the time to wish birthday sentiments to herself. What exactly everyone did that day is unclear, but it's plausible that they all met up at some point. One of Amy Roloff's grandsons, Jackson, had an early birthday party 3 years ago. It fell on the same day as Mother's Day and Jeremy's father's birthday. Amy Roloff continued to share posts about her late mother. Whether or not there was a huge party was unclear. Matt Roloff extended his best wishes to all mothers on Mother's Day this year, even those who aren't yet parents but aspire to be. In addition to his mom and Peggy, he posted an Instagram photo with Jacob Roloff and Karen Chandler. It appeared as though a large-scale party might have been organized as they took their seats at the tables. Amy spilled the beans to her admirers about the true meaning of Mother's Day. Even having 4 children was something she never imagined, she informed her fans. Jeremy and Audrey were all smiles in the photo that the Lil People, Big World actress, posted online. She also sent Jeremy and Jacob a photo of herself. In her lengthy commentary, the TLC star discussed Molly and other topics. According to Amy, Zach and Tori skipped out on this year's festivities. Perhaps it was because Mother's Day was also Jackson's 8th birthday. Additionally, his entourage appeared to be at the nation's capital. Fans of Little People, Big World were quick to wish Daniel a happy birthday after Tori uploaded photographs of him. In her post, neither Matt nor Amy were mentioned. For her TLC followers, Amy Roloff wrote, "Mother's Day" in the description. "I never imagined I'd get the opportunity to become a mother, so this is incredibly meaningful to me. That was an honor, and I did my best to live up to the title. Being a grandma and a mother to 4 incredible kids sums me up." 2 incredible, wonderful young men, Jeremy and Jacob, who I call my bookends, are here with me. Visited with Zach and Molly, spent time with Chris and my boys, and saw some of my grandchildren. Daily, I give thanks to the Lord and ask Him to bless them. I am grateful to you for becoming my mother. You are all loved by my family and me. It sounds like the LPBW actress may have spoken on the phone with Molly and Zach, as she mentioned she talked with them. Also, when she said a few grandkids, she most likely meant the offspring of Jacob and Jeremy. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.